Hello and welcome to Three Question With. I got my buddy Justin with us from Mobile Creative. Justin, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Kevin, it's good to see you again.
So, Justin, I asked you to come on the show today because what I see a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with is how often do I post and what do I post? So, one step further, I see people fall in love with whatever the new thing is. Like when Reels came out, that's all they did was Reels. Is that a good thing or should I mix it up?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing because Reels is getting you a lot of exposure. The algorithm, you have to, unfortunately, I think it's wise to kind of adhere to what the algorithm is trying to have you do, because you're going to get them that much more reach. Having said that, I think, if you want to say, hey, I'm a photographer and I only put out still photography and I'm phenomenal, then that's fine too. Like, I think you should be you, but there's no harm in throwing out, if you are that photographer, there are ways around. You can still post a still image as a reel, for example, or you can get creative with how you use a reel. A reel is just a moving image, right? And so there's different ways you can get creative with that. The first question, the first part of your question, to answer that, is how often do I post, or at what cadence am I posting? A lot of our clients will ask us that too. We recommend we post as like every day, multiple times a day, if we really want to go all in. But as with everything, there's levels to it. And so if you can only, if you the key is posting. What's more important than like frequency is how often, or sorry, excuse me. It's really the value you're bringing to your audience, right? How good is that content? So if you're just posting to post and you're posting shit, you shouldn't post, right? Like we say, like, let's just stop doing that.
Yeah.
So first, like with every one of our clients, we always work, our process entails working with them to refine their story, right? Like their brand strategy. What is their story? What's their value proposition? Who are they speaking to? And what does their audience care about? Like, and then defining our content buckets. So like we're always hitting those pieces of those pillars. And then it's creating great content that drives that story forward. So it has to be engaging. For example, like if you don't have a hook within the first 3 seconds, it's unlikely that you're going to be steal someone's attention, right? Because that's what you're doing. Someone is already doing something on their phone, and then or maybe they're talking to a friend, or they're in the middle of something, and you want to steal their attention, right? So that hook is really important.
Yeah. Now, how about when you should post? Because I see a lot of us struggle. Like if I do a post at 8 a.m., seems I get more traction versus 9:30. They do better at night. How do I know? I mean, obviously you can look it up, but is there any, hey, it seems like post in the morning do better than night. Is there anything that they should consider?
No, I actually don't think, I think it's all trash. I think it's a lot of fluff, a lot of people talking about, oh, that we have to post every night at 6, or
Yeah.
I think you should post whenever you want, whenever you feel like it. I think it also goes and corresponds with your brand, right? So for example, if our clients, we work with some alcohol brands, right? We like to post those types of posts when it's appropriate to drink, right? And so we're posting that usually at nighttime. We have a chef, a private chef. He's a client of ours, which kind of goes really well. We make a lot of partnerships happen, but it's, right before mealtime, because we want people are hungry. So we want to talk to them then. So I think you can post whenever you want. We like to make it correspond with your brand, to make it real and feel authentic. But if you were posting at midnight, and that's when your audience is on, right? And that's the other key, like knowing your audience. So like I encourage everyone, like in the beginning, we're going to play around. If you don't know, we're going to play around with different times. We're going to experiment. And then we're going to use real data to say, all right, what's working? But I don't think it matters a ton.
I liked what you said earlier about posting the post, because I think we've all been guilty of that. Like, oh, I want to post every day. And you may be like, well, there's nothing really on the top of my head that I want to post about, but I have to. So I'm just going to throw something out to throw it out. Then it may not be resonating at all, but I have a check mark. Justin, I told you I'd post every day. I did, buddy.
Right.
No post, just a post, right?
No, I would, no, I think you have to, like, even if it's not well thought out, I would try not to do that unless you have stuff lined up. And then there's tricks. Like if you are watching this and you haven't hired someone to take care of social and take it off your plate, and that's totally cool, right? Like that's okay. I've been there. I was a startup founder. I bootstrapped my first company. We didn't have a budget to do this and hire this out. I found that the key to being consistent is to sit down and batch it, like batch that content out. So like you're gonna sit down and dedicate like 2 hours. It could be more. Like just it could be depending on what you're doing, like the type of content you're creating. So you have to shoot content on the video and you're like talking to the camera. I mean, that could be up to 6 hours, maybe a full day to dedicate to that once a month. And then you're gonna put that all together. Like you're gonna edit all that video, you're gonna cut it up, and then you're gonna put it, hopefully you're using a tool. And we've got a ton of great tools out there. But I would highly recommend you use a tool that you can schedule all this out beforehand. I hope you're not editing on the platform because that's going to be super tedious and time consuming. You should be using like another video editing platform, and then just sit down and batch it out. Of course, if you're like on LinkedIn, I think that's also, you're just typing, right? LinkedIn, Twitter. And that's the other piece, Kevin, is to use the platform where you can, your strengths lie. So if you're really good on camera and you're charismatic and you bring the energy, like go video. If you're comfortable on camera, go with that. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. If you don't like that at all, I would type. I think writing is another great medium, and you can still win big on LinkedIn by typing great content. Same with Twitter, or I think Threads is dead, but it was dead on arrival. But that's another topic for another day.
So Justin, what's the best way for people to reach out if they have questions and need help on social?
Yeah, people can email me at justin@obcreative.com. It's OBEY creative.com, or I'm pretty accessible. It's at Justin Obi on every platform, or at Obey Creative on every platform. So
awesome. Justin, I appreciate you taking a few minutes calling the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Kevin.